All right,
all right.
then. So, we are literally 2 days away from the release of Mecha BREAK, and this is actually a small series of where I'm going to get a bunch of my friends who are big mecha enthusiasts and also competitive Gunpla builders. I am mostly a hobbyist myself, so that's why I turn to people that are a little bit more higher on the hierarchy, as well as going to competitions, and also know a little bit more about the engineering of mechs in anime, no matter how much fantasy we put in them. I wish to introduce my friend, Kal the Otaku. Who are you? Where can they find you on the
Hi.
internet?
I'm Kal the Otaku. You can find me on Instagram on Kal the Otaku or on X, Kal Rebel Otaku, but you can just call me Kal. I'm a small-time builder on the East Coast. East Coast is not very well known for the builders, for Gundam-wise, for competitions, but I'm one of the guys on the East Coast who builds a lot. So my friend Nix is gonna pull up my Instagram right here. I do post my builds here, even works in progress too. Currently, I'm working on a special project right now with my Burning Gundam and Noble Gundam. This will be probably released on July 4th, and this is a very special project that I'm doing, that I'll be doing later.
Awesome. And it looks actually pretty good for what it is, aside from Nobel missing her bangs, but I'm sure that's a work in progress. But
It's a
yeah.
yeah, it's a work in progress. It's a lot right now. It's currently primed up right now. Hopefully the my waterfall airbrush booth doesn't pick up on the mic too. After this call, I'll probably be working on that again.
Awesome. From what I understand, this was also one of your first GBWC entries right here.
Yes, yeah, this was my first GBWC entry. This was back in Otakon 2017. I was fresh off like just competitions too, and just trying to get myself out there. This was me like 2 years of just like me just learning how to build, doing kits wise. If you go into base 2, I was able to like print out like a water slide that says Gundam Build Fighters too, and this won me like second place at the Otakon. This got me really started too, and from there my works have like really grown. I started to do more cleaner builds. I started following people outside the country of the US. So like the people that I kind of find most for building wise is a guy named Ed Maker, who's been a very prominent builder in Hong Kong that I follow a lot.
Awesome. Nice. And just one last highlight before we move on. I did see this one right here. The third place plaque at MarauderCon. Tell me more about this one.
So this was another quick build that I did too. I do the works in progress of this, but this was a Quanta 00 Quanta Shia kit that my friend gave me. This was something on my sorry, on my bench that's been sitting there for a while. Did this, went to MarauderCon and just put this in. It was one of the like cleaner builds that I did too, and I started to be more clean with the builds too. But this was like a third place thing. IPMS is not known to do Gunpla builds as much, but this is kind of the start.
Awesome. Nice. So I am looking forward to your future entries going forward. As for me though, I will be going ahead and moving on to our main topic then. So, as everyone else knows me, as your host, I am Warbotniks. I am a up-and-coming VTuber. I am myself getting back into 3D modeling, and I will be building myself out, and then I may be looking for a rigger. We'll see. That is a bit of a process that not that I don't have the patience to do it, I just don't have the time. So, let's move on then. Mecha BREAK. So, Kal, aside from some of the basics of the exposure that I've showed you, do you know anything about this game?
From what I've heard, this is one of the big upcoming mecha games so far, and I know it's been a mix of, I believe, the fighting game. I think it's Gundam Versus too, and a mix of Armored Core. I haven't played the game personally, just because of like time constraints on my side and just personal things coming up too. But I wish I had the time to play more of the Mecha BREAK. But some of the kind of mechs or mobile suits that are out in this game are pretty good, and it's very similar to the Gundams that are currently out right now, or what you're seeing at was it from Bandai's producing, or kind of fan favorite ones like Gundam Wing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I myself, I'm immediately attracted by these designs because one of the designers is a big Double O designer. I think he did a little bit of the Dynamis, which is one of my favorite suits of all time. So, and that's actually what we're going to be digging into today. So I grabbed you here to help me break down the designs as well as give some feedback and give a little bit of extra context overall a bit about of these two designers. So we have Takayuki, Yanase, and Junya Ishigaki. So a little bit of background on these two. So Takayuki Yanase is well known for a lot of designs. I actually forgot that he was in Broken Blade and Busoshinki. So he does actually a lot of the Mecha Musume stuff alongside with a lot more um I guess you could say like sharper edge designs. So we're gonna bring a couple up so that you can also break them down yourself. So this is the Dynamis.
Yep, Dynamis, one of the more famous like mobile suits in the Double O series too, known as Sniper, also piloted by Lock-On Stratos. He did other designs like this too. You'll probably be familiar with Elfrith and Elfrith Thorn, which is from Witch from Mercury. And personally, I did not know that he designed these two mobile suits. From just like watching Witch from Mercury, I would say these were the best two designs. And when I found out that it was this mechanical designer, it's like, oh, now it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and I've noticed too that he is a big fan of like hexagons as well as embedded like rings on the chest. So you can see like all of his suits have that like distinct like sharp edges
yeah,
and also a lot less prominent shoulders.
yeah. I think one of his other signatures too, if you kind of look at it too, between like his Double O series, I believe I'm not sure what this one's from too. Looking at it is Shine and Break. You ever kind of compare the designs too? He does a lot of like glowing internal mechanical designs too, like the Exia with its like circular glow designs, or this one, for example, too. The internal like parts glowing too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we're gonna actually drop right into his website just for a little bit to see some of his own personal works. So he also, as you can see, he loves doing. Whoa, actually, I did not know this one. This looks like a personal work from him.
It looks like something that came out from Super Robot Wars, to be quite honest. And if you go one back too from the previous picture, I think that's Armored Girls Project. Yeah, it is not Armored Girls Project, but it's I think it's
Frame
called not
arms?
Bunko. Frame Arms Girls. Yes, that's the
Yeah,
one I'm thinking of.
yeah, and he is all about that sort of like utilitarianism and militaristic style that you see with modern whatchamacallit vehicles today, and he just brings out that nice like panel lining and everything.
Yeah, and you will see this also in like any of the kind of mechs that he does too. Like if you go back to his like whole history of what he designed, Double O series, I think a Macross series too, and a couple like also prominent like mecha series that you've watched over the last decade or so.
Hmm.
But he's like his signature is like everywhere,
Yeah.
and you'll see it on the next artist too. Like his signature or his art designs are there. You'll see it.
Yep. All right, and now we're gonna actually jump over to Junya Ishigaki. So this one here is known for, let's see, Gundam, Gundam X, Angelic. Actually, I did not know about Angelic Lair, but I actually mostly know him from other places, like Cross Frontier, as well as Gundam Wing. So he's got a little bit more organic around it, and great thing about Junya is that he actually is pretty active. So this is actually some of his latest posted sketches. So as you can see, he's all about those rounded edges, much more organic looking. And what do you want to say about this one?
Honestly, if you are a fan of the F91 series, he's very prominent over there. I believe he did do the designs for F90. Well, if you look at this picture right here, it's obviously like mostly like F90 or F91 designs too, and also the other mobile suits or mobile suit grunts that are involved in that series. I think he did a little bit of Crossbones too, just kind of mentioning that too, because F
Yes.
yeah, F90, F91 and F90 were part of Crossbones, but they were a little bit later on.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to see these two distinct styles very prominent in the mecha designs, as well as some of the boss designs too, which we will go over at a later date. So this video is actually going to be one of 3 series I have planned. So please look forward to the
And
other 2. Yep.
and I believe that if you look at it closely too, if you look at that head design, that is I believe that's the antagonist for F91 too. If you really
Yeah,
look closely.
Meduzak. Yep.
Yep,
Yep. And then he also did Victory Gundam as well. Let's bring that guy up here.
the Gundam series is known for a a lot of war crimes, you know that, or
Yep. I generally am not attracted to like these massive, like bulky, like shoulders, but he really brings them out.
well, it goes back to the roots of like the Super Robot War series. Like some of
Yeah.
these like base designs have like a lot of bulk to them, or if you look at Mazinger too, a lot of bulk. It's a very nice design. It's very original too, and some of these other ones too that he has too is also pretty good. Like I
Yep.
don't have any kind of like cons about these. They're all pretty good.
Yep.
These are all professionals. I can't really kind of give
And they
them
are
out.
distinct. Yep.
Yeah, very distinct.
hmm And that actually is what sets them apart from a lot of designers who are also working in this area. So, and these are veterans from our childhoods as well. So I do look forward to more work from them. Oh, here we go. Here's a Gundam X1. Actually, you know what? Let's bring up Wing so we can show that one. The Magnax, actually one of my favorite grunt suits. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one actually has a lot less, actually, I want to say a lot less of the formula. You can actually see a little bit more like minimalist design on this one, but I think it's because it is a grunt suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and jump to it. So Mecha Break. Let's go ahead and review this official concept trailer real quick, and I will pause here and there, and we'll just go over like some of the concept art that shows up.
Yep.
Obviously. So
Yeah,
that we
it's
actually get it. We got a little bit of a sneak peek there.
okay. Let's guess who this artist is. Is it Junya or Junya or Takayuki? Because it's very obvious who it is. Just looking at the
Yeah.
base one too.
Now they already kind of spoiled it. You may have missed it, but obviously for me, the what do you call those edges? The
Paul,
angular edges.
I would just more suggest more of a polygon edge too.
There we go,
They're more
polygon
called.
edge. Yeah, the
There
polygon
we go.
edges, as well as very, very obvious panel lining and sticking strictly to mostly like a very militaristic modern design. I'd say this is
But
probably Takayuki.
yeah, it's definitely Takayuki because if you look
Yeah.
at the head too, what does that remind you of? And this is another like mecha series that we all watch too if you're like a big mecha fan.
Uh, it's on the tip
It
of my tongue, but
starts with an
it
M and it ends with a V. I'm gonna give you like 2 seconds on this. One.
no, you're gonna have to tell me. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, that's all right.
obviously,
It's all right.
as you can see, I am glitching out right now.
Someone has to fix you, man. It's probably Junior or Takahashi has to fix you up right there. But it's gonna be
No,
Mo-
it's something else.
it's gonna be Love Love. This is definitely something that I believe
Oh, okay. No,
y-
I was thinking Gundam Build Divers, the antagonist suits that have that like opening and that protruding sort of like helmet, so with like a very embedded face.
yes, but it's
Yeah.
also like another prominent feature of the Love Love mobile suits too. If you look very closely or compare it to the Love Love suits that came out.
Yeah, I will have to be frank with you. It's been forever since I even touched Muv-Luv. So, yeah, I actually would not have guessed that. But now that you've mentioned it, now I'm like digging back into my memory banks. Like, yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Yep, and
And
then
then, yep.
yeah, no, no, it's fine. Well, it's just a lot of the leg features, and if you can go pause here too, some of the mechanical features too are very prominent from this artist too. You got the thrusters, the polygon thrusters. You got some of the joints too, even the chest piece too, which is like more of a layers of polygon. Well, not layers of polygon, but it's just like the designs. It's very prominent. It's like a signature of them. Like each artist will have a signature to
Yeah.
it, or a I wouldn't say a signature, but it's just a method that they use for like years.
Yeah, and it's also I've noticed that with this that he likes to use a lot of basic shapes and just starts layering them on top, and then he just highlights them with LEDs as well to really bring out that characteristic. So
Y-
you see that a lot with Gundam 00.
Yep, and also for competitions too, if you're doing like custom designs, you'll see this a lot too, with kind of like doing like any kind of custom like work too. I think kind of the most thing, and this is kind of my style too, and this is something I picked up too. You want to mat like the more major parts of the area, and then some of the kind of like prominent areas that you really want to highlight, like the V fin or some of the like top parts of like the kit, like let's say the shoulders, right? The top outer shoulders. You want to highlight that with a brighter color. So it looks a little bit more like not professional, but it has this like glowing effect, or I would say it's like you're trying to highlight the prominent features of the mobile suit. And you'll see
Yeah.
this a lot. You'll see this a lot with a lot of like mech series too. Um,
Yeah, the only series that I can remember that I'm very familiar with that he doesn't do a whole lot of the highlighting, and I think it's just because it is the setting of the anime, and that was Break Blade, because that basically all of those were made out of stone and rock, so they just basically use magic to maneuver them.
well, I would
Yeah.
disagree with that a bit too, because you know the visor series and how it glows up the red too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to highlight those kind of like ink those features too. Kind of
Fair
like
enough. Yeah.
yeah.
And you can also like tell like a lot of these designs, I mean, sure they look like dressing, but a lot of them honestly just honestly tells like me that this area has some sort of purpose. And that's actually
Yeah.
one thing I love about Double O and Takayuki's designs. Like you feel like, okay, as cool as that looks, there's a reason why it looks that way.
Yeah.
So,
And just kind of like highlight another feature here too that people are not going to pick up too.
mhm,
Um for kind of like any competitions or custom building again. You see those paneling too, like the panel
mhm,
lines too. It's always gonna be, I think it's like a 35-degree angle, or probably it will not be a 90-degree angle at all, like a square angle. It will always be under or over 90 degrees. You'll see this with most of the designs. And then
yes.
also with the lines too, it's always gonna run parallel of the piece basic shape.
Yep. And you actually,
And
I
that's
think I remember you telling me this when we were really big into Gunpla building back in the day.
yeah.
For me, and the only time we ever use like the 9 degrees and the sort of like very basic shapes is, as you can see here, just for like some of the ports and like minor areas, but
Or
generally
the
they're more subtle.
or
Yep.
that skirt piece. Do you see that skirt piece right under the yellow too?
Yes.
Or you yeah. Yeah, that's the only time you'll use that 90-degree angles when you do like any like the square shapes
Hmm.
on the mobile suit. But essentially the basic rule is always be under or over 90 degrees when you do custom panel lines. That's the general rule unless you're doing squares.
Yep. And also you can see like Takayuki's design actually in my own avatar. I actually took that sort of like design from the headpiece and sort of like made my own variation. And so instead of elongated, I made it more flattened.
Yep.
Yep. All right, let's keep going. And then
Hello.
there's the headshot.
Hello,
So
Mud
just
Love.
yep, now I see Love. So thank you for reminding me on that one. But the one thing I will have just give some context. This is Aquila, but the thing is that we aren't going to go over Aquila today. That will be actually coming up in the next series because just for time constraint. But if any of you guys have a suit you guys want us to move up the schedule and really want to see it in the next one, comment down below, like and subscribe as well. Shameless plug. All right, let's keep going. So, what can you tell me about this headpiece?
Honestly, it's again, it's just a Muv-Love headpiece at all. It has the highlights, which is something that Takayuki is like pretty prominent into, and if you look at the chest piece too, with the yellow glow from the internal frame too, it's definitely him. Some of the other designs too, you see those like not shoulder, I would say not shoulder pieces, but the chassis is part of it too, where it has like the polygons being layered over, and this is something that you'll do for customization too, is have that nice layering. But also, if you kind of look at like engine, like mechanical designs too, sometimes when you have like custom paneling too, um, you have to have like custom like lines that make sense. Like let's say you pull like a clock, right? Or kind of
Hmm.
machine, right?
Yeah.
Those panels will come off. It's basically a frame that they're putting on top, like, sorry, they're putting like the parts on top of the frame. So you
Yeah.
have like the inner frame and the outer frame, like most like was it most like military vehicles would have too. But
Yep.
this is like a more romanticized version of it.
Yeah, but even it has been romanticized. Like you can see that like this is not just, you know, pat and go. You can definitely tell that there's definitely a lot of inspiration from today's like military and mechanics as well, and just taken up to the nth degree. And what I love about his design is that over time, like he definitely is a lot more rigid between the two designers, and we will hit Junya soon. But you can tell like there is an elegance to it as well, and this is what I love about a lot of his designs.
Yeah, it's a rule too, and this is kind of like going back to like art too.
Hmm.
There's always a kind of a ratio of like what you need to do in terms of like let's say like a human face, right? There's a certain ratio. It's always gonna be like for eyes wise, it's gonna be like three above the chin or something like that. I'm like shooting shit right now, but there is what I'm trying to like point out, there is a formula to it too. It's
Yep.
the same thing with mech designs too, but some most artists like Tak like sorry, Takayuki, he has a rule that he follows too. And you'll see it like with most of the designs that it's well balanced, it follows polygons, it has a highlight of the lights too, or in the visor pieces too, to kind of make it really pop out. And I think he used certain colors too, but with Mecha Break, from what I know, you can customize the colors to anything you want to.
Yeah, and we may look at that a little bit if we have time, but let's just quickly get going.
Yep.
And then we
Okay.
have Junya.
No, I just gotta pause right there. Go back a few seconds.
All right,
So,
let's go. Let's go here.
what is the first thing that reminds you from
um,
this mobile suit?
all right, I am going to have to admit, yes, a lot of Gundam Wing, just from the wing design and the thrusters and the binders. But I also have to admit a little Rico a bit.
I believe he designed a bit of G Reco, though. So you're
Yeah.
not wrong on that, but
Actually, hold
we
on.
can go back.
Let's
Yeah,
take
we
a
can go
look
back.
here.
Yeah.
Um,
The
actually,
thing
it
is,
does. I no, it's actually age.
age, there we go. Because also he did a
Okay.
mix of build fighters too, which has a lot of they use like highlights. I can't remember what the terminology is in lore for build fighters. It's a kind of inner. It's like in with the inner frame part of it. It glows. It gives these like toys like all these like special abilities too when they go like super maneuvers or whatever like that
Yep.
too. But
Yeah. Now this
um,
one is, and also now that I looked at his list and I remember, like, okay, yeah, I also see a lot of I want to say unicorn suit inspiration here, just with the amount of light, like LED lights going along the panels.
well, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that a lot, to be quite honest. It's just like
Yeah.
they really want to make these mechs pop out, like
Hmm.
really pop out, because it's like this design is actually pretty good. But
Yep. So
it's
here we
like
go.
It's
Oh,
just
let me
Gundam
see.
Wing. I'm just gonna kind of point out here, look ahead. If
Yeah,
you kind of put those like V fins in more of a V, like a V way too, you'll see
yeah.
that Gundam Wing head with the visor. That's pretty much
Actually,
it.
put a little bit of tall geese in there with the face mask as well.
Yeah, it's just a face mask. It's just a
Yeah,
face mask, man.
yeah. Like even the weapon though, that looks like a magnac rifle.
Yep.
So
Uh, yeah, we can just
yeah,
keep going.
yeah. But it looks like they did get rid of the rifle for drone launchers. All right,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah, the prototype design needed a little bit of work, but this
Yeah,
one, like the final design, actually is really good.
yeah. Hello.
It's Gundam Wing with a visor. Yay.
Um, do I dare mention a little bit of the mustache
You
from
mean, yeah, the
Turn A?
designer. Yeah, it is. There is a turn.
Yeah.
He is also a turn A designer, which is
I I don't think he is. I might be wrong, but
no, he's one of the turn A designers. I could be wrong on this too. I believe from the designs for turn A, what had a little bit of Western influence to it too, when they were designing the mobile suit for turn A.
yeah,
But
I don't see him listed as a turn anything. But now that I'm looking at it now, I'm also seeing a little bit of a very old series. Um, it's the dragons from Dragonaut a little bit, but not a whole lot. But you can see here, though, you can definitely see that he's got a lot more curvature, from what I understand, and he's also not afraid to basically just add add panels of lighting to really make all his parts pop.
yep. I think that's kind of I would say the meta right now in terms of like mechs too, mech designs. Try to find things that really make the mech pop out. I think that's like I think that started from even as early as age too, but it became more prominent with the build fighter stuff. If you
Hmm.
notice, like the Strike Gundam, and also I believe like I think the upgrade to RX-78 to the miniature size one. If you have a look at the wiki too, that that little mech is from the RX-78, but I'm not sure how they even derived from that.
Yeah, yeah. And I also just noticed this myself. Like there also seems to be a bit of interesting contouring here, as well as like you can see that his like I don't want to call it a mustache, but I guess his like the wings on his faceplate seem to really like line up with his wing binders in the back as well, creating a nice image of elegance and angelic
Yeah.
look.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can definitely tell, like, just spot on. You know this suit. Actually, you know what? What do you think this suit's used for?
Oh,
What is this role?
I think I saw it too. I think it's more of a support role from what I remember too. It looks more of a harasser too.
That is correct. It is a support suit. Yep, yep. So we're gonna actually skip this part here since we are pretty familiar with the game. We're not here to talk about the gameplay as much, and that's actually with my other guest actually coming up. So, all right, now that we got that, let's go ahead and get to the actual suits themselves. So, you have not seen a lot of these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let pause. Let me just tell me to pause whenever you notice something. All right.
All right. So
All right.
start with the
First
first one.
one, Stellaris. So this one actually is a brand new mech that was just revealed within the last week. No one has got their hands on it, except for the developers themselves and a few closed testers. So we're just going to quickly go ahead and take a look at this. That might be a little too loud here.
Excuse me. Oh, pause right there.
Yep.
Hi, Axia. Did you get rebranded?
No, I was going like, mm. I was thinking, yeah, definitely like that centerpiece with the glowing hole there. I was thinking like a double O suit just really revamped.
Yeah, again, Takayuki did a lot of. Oh no, it's not Takayuki. I might be getting confused, but one of the two did a lot of double O stuff, so
Yeah,
it's
Takayuki's the one that did Double O. But the thing is, though, this design actually, I couldn't tell if this was Takayuki or Junya because this one has a lot more rounded edges. But it also does have some elements from Takayuki's like works with Double O as well. So let's take a look at the close-ups.
Stellaris, a brawler striker developed by Pyrogenesis, featuring
Yeah, I
extreme
suspect this is
competition.
Junya's work, just based off of the like more rounded design.
yeah, but also you want to kind of look at it too, like the backpack piece too.
Mhm.
If you know what that looks like too, it's just like you ever seen the Double O series? I think it's like Trailblazers Double O. It's the Quanta. Though that
Uh,
the backpack piece, how it spreads out. If you ever kind of built the Quanta, it spreads out like that. Or if you go through like a short clip of the Quanta just moving too,
yeah.
it's yeah, it's definitely like this is Stellaris with two Quanta backpacks. Or actually, I wouldn't say backpacks. I think it's more of a shield than anything. But it's basically just Exia with two Quanta backpacks
Yeah, that
attached to it.
center ring definitely gives me Exia Quanta feels, but the shoulders and the overall design more gives me the Junya design. So I'm leaning towards Junya, but this could be a collaborative design for all we know.
Yeah, to be quite
Yeah.
honest, it is Junya and Takayuki's work too. So I
Destruction of key target.
I'm expecting like a collaboration of them too. Or
Yeah.
like they did work on like one of these mobile suits or collab on these mobile suits or just got like some other person, another mechanical designer to collab with too. But
Yeah,
most of these
potentially.
mobile suits, yeah,
Yeah, but the legs definitely with the sort of like night like the night designs definitely reminds me of Char's counterattack suits. So, yep. All right. Let's keep going. Oh, hey Susanoo.
what do you mean, Susanoo, man? He did Build Divers too, man. A lot of
That is true, yeah.
yeah, no. If you watch like any of the Build Divers, it's a lot of like the mobile suits. I think it was at the Astrays too. Did like blade like waves like that too, blade wave attacks like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not surprised if they started doing like this. Like how Mecha Break plays right now. Think of it this way: it's like Build Divers on. Yeah, it is technically Build Divers, but as I said earlier,
Basic
this is Gundam Versus and Armor Core combined.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like a lot of the mechanics like seems to like take from those two, especially like with the movement. It definitely felt the movement definitely felt a little bit like Gundam Extreme Versus, but with that sort of like armored core I want to say like I guess you could say armored core's freedom of movement in my opinion.
Warblade. The blade has a 4-hit combo that consumes energy for use.
All
18
right, so
physical damage
basic
with knockback and
basic
static
blade
damage.
moves. Okay. All right, we can just fast forward for this too. I
Yeah.
think some of the other ones.
Initiate a burst of
Okay,
force.
you see that moving right there too.
Yeah.
You see how he glides around
Yep.
the
Following
area.
attack.
That is like if you ever kind of watch the Double O series and how Exia moves,
Yep.
it's similar to that.
Targeting lower
Yeah.
altitude units.
So yeah,
Stellaris can
it
unleash an unparryable
yeah, that
backward
this
sweep
really
with
does remind me
significant
of
overload.
not Exia but also Double O as well.
Assault Warblade. Tap to unleash a shockwave with a 3-hit combo.
Yeah, I like kind of like so if you pause there too on the blades too, if you go a little bit back too, this is also no, I wouldn't say a tradition, but a lot of people do this too. You see how that Warblade
Sidearm
is
There we go.
set in the backpack too.
Yeah.
A lot of like prominent mobile suits do that too. I
Hmm.
believe it's the Impulse Gundam too. I think the one with the two blades, that version of Impulse, or there's a
Yeah.
couple like other
Sword
mobile suits.
Impulse. Yeah, Sword
Yeah,
Impulse has that. Yeah.
yep.
And also the
I think
most
it was
recent Mighty Strike Freedom as well has it.
yep. Yep, and I believe I think one of the Thrones does this too.
Yes, the Throne Zwei, I think.
Yeah.
It's the one that's Thrones Y with the Buster
Yep.
sword. Yep.
Yeah.
And
If you
also,
also,
yep.
yeah. Also, if you kind of look at too with the blades and you compare it to the actual mobile suit too, it doesn't look out of place at all.
Not at all.
And
Yeah.
yeah, with like some kind of customizations too, like people who build too, they'll throw in like other pieces too in their build and they'll look out of whack. It doesn't look like it's part of the design too. Like a few like maybe plastic pieces here would probably make it look like it, but some of the more professional ones like this, like Takayuki or Junya, right? None of the weapons will look out of place. It looks like very part of the mobile suit. And you'll
Yep.
see this like a lot with any of the Stellar Blade or anything that's outside of like not Stellar Blade, sorry, wrong game, but Mecha Break. It's always going to be part of the design for the mechs, and it's the
Hmm.
same thing with other mechas.
Yeah. And as for me, like I always gravitate towards mechs and designs that have a much more symmetrical look, just because like I'm a little bit more old fashioned with like the militaristic unitarian utilitarian utilitarian designs. So,
Yeah.
but even with like the sword sticking out like that, like it does not break the symmetry for me as much.
I think the
So,
one pose that this guy misses out on, you know, that sword impulse pose where he pulls up the Great War Blade, the Warship Blade.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was a missed opportunity for that, unless they're saving that for another mobile suit who's having. I think with the mechs wise too, it's like a what do you call it, like a big dick contest too. Whoever has the biggest blade, and that's you'll see that a lot with the mech series too. Who has the biggest gun or the biggest sword?
Gotcha. All right, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit because we're not going to talk about the gameplay as much, but we're going to talk about its equipment though.
Ox 1, composite tactical.
So there's the tactical claw. We also now have a very nice detail on that one. So yeah, even the tactical claw, it doesn't look like a claw specifically, but it definitely you can see that it's meant to be able to like glide quickly through the air and close onto something.
Yeah. So the thing is, what mobile suit? I would say let's stick with Wing, right? What
Yeah,
mobile suit actually did the claw thing?
Shenlong.
I would say yes, Shenlong, but in a more of a miniature size like this. Like
Uh,
Shenlong has it's part of his arm. Like I
Death
won't
Scythe,
argue
I
that.
think.
That's
I think
scythe,
Death,
yeah,
yeah, Death Scythe had it. Also, it's part of his buckler too.
Slows
yeah,
the target upon impact. It also
Yep.
lets the target's
and it works the same way like the Death Scythe. You see,
Yeah. Speaking of Death Scythe, Speaking of Death Scythe. Hi.
oh, hello, camouflage.
Yeah. And yeah, it's. I think people who love Death Scythe and Exia and any other like high mobility melee units are gonna love this suit. Yep. Alrighty then. Awesome. Any last minute thoughts on
To be quite
Stellaris?
not really, to be quite honest. I'm just going to call it Exia Incarnate, just how it looks and how it's designed and how it moves.
I'm gonna
Um,
say this is more like Gundam 00 mixed with Susanoo mixed. Actually, no. It's Gundam 00 mixed with Death Scythe mixed with Susanoo. That's my three like suit combinations for this one.
hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Serenith. This actually is more my playstyle. And this is also a brand new one that no one has got their hands on.
Ooh, all right.
Yep.
This is you know what I'm thinking, right? It begins with a T. It rhymes with goose.
It's not tall geese, is it? Oh wait, it is.
It is tall geese.
Yeah, this
It's
definitely
the
does scream tall geese.
it's tall geese. I think it's probably the color too, but the thing is how it's shaped too. Like the pauldrons on the shoulders, and then you got the shield on the left side too. With
Even
the
the
just I
weapon
think
loadout. Yeah, even the
the
weapon
weapon
loadout is very tall geese.
and then the head shape too. Even though it's like a crescent shape, you can look at this and like, oh wait, is this Tallgeese?
Yeah.
But we can keep going. I just want to see the kit. Yes.
Serenith, a versatile support striker that hacks enemy IFF signals.
So this suit introduces electronic warfare. So yeah, and this will explain why a lot of its pauldrons, even the back unit, including its head, all screams basically, how can I customize a radar dish and put it
Yep.
on the
And
suit?
yep, and it's the same thing too. If you kind of go back to the radar dish on the back too, um, go back a few seconds. Excuse me.
Yep, I am finding that now. There we go.
Yeah, so if you ever pay attention with UC series or any of like other Gundam series too, anything that kind of dishes out this huge dish on its backpack too, it's a recon unit. It's an
Yeah.
absolute recon unit. It's kind of there. It's always been there. Xenon had this in UC era, sorry, and also the Federation had this too. And I believe like some other kind of mobile suits too, outside the original Gundam series, also had mobile suits that are like this too. But it was shaped in different designs also.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, and as for me, whenever I play games like this, especially like hero shooters and stuff, like Serenith, the light support large range artillery units, that's my playstyle. And also, but back to your talk though, like yeah, actually, you know what this kind of does remind me of? The panel designs here. It reminds me of narrative a little bit.
A bit, yeah, I would say a
Yeah.
bit.
Versatile support
But
striker
it's
that
like
hacks enemy
if you
IFF
look at it
signals.
closely too, if you ever seen like H1, H2, or H3, it's
Yeah.
mostly the H series. Or if you ever pay attention, I think I can't remember who pilots the pink mobile suit on them for the enemy side too. You'll see those prominent shapes, but more or less, this is like tall geese though. But
Yeah.
again, with Mecha BREAK, you can change the colors of your mobile suits, so you can make it like fully pink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but dang, that is a huge like buckler dish as well. And it's kind of interesting he put the massive autocannon on the left hand. Yeah.
The
I
And that's the
guess
one
it's
thing.
autocannon fires
Yeah, you go
plasma,
ahead next.
dealing energy
yeah,
damage.
the one thing I wonder though, okay, it does have a function. That buckler does have a function. So not only does it defend, it's also meant to charge up the shot. Got it. So it's a generator.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd too. It's like I've been noticing too with some of these mechs too. If you kind of like pay attention to the Gundam series too,
Yeah.
usually the gun's on the right side and the shield's on the left side. It's kind of the opposite for some of these other mobile suits, or they put the shield and gun on the left side too. Mechanically, it doesn't make sense to have like two things on one side just because of the weight wise. I'll just leave that for the engineer, but it's just the balance of it. But
Yeah.
I guessing this was a design choice too, or I probably a copyright choice too. If they put it on like one side, they could be caught by for copyrights by Bandai. But
I
I could just be
I don't think anyone's has copyright on hand orientation. Yeah, but I think we discussed this prior though when you first saw some of these suits a little bit here and there as a sneak peek. Like you asked me if you can switch, hand orientation, and unfortunately you cannot. But one thing I have noticed though, like the right hand, usually any like melee weapons, like larger melee weapons, seem to go on there. So I think that's why. And I do notice that like with Warhammer 40K, a lot of like the little miniatures, like you'll see that their left hand holds a ranged weapon, but their right hand holds a melee weapon.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can just keep going too.
The
Like I don't
orbital
have that
target
much to say
system
with
guides the
Serenith
plasma
too, because I
particles,
think it's
dealing
like
partial
Hmm.
I can probably guess what he's gonna do too. With the kit he has, you have the claw, you have the recon unit,
Hmm.
recon kit too, radar. This is a support one. This is a support unit meant for recon.
Yeah, and actually with this as well, with this we can actually get some of the internals as well have also been modeled out. Now it doesn't it so yeah, it definitely doesn't look like they went too deep into that one because we're not going to see it, but you can definitely tell like a lot of little details, at least in indents, meant to show that these like these suits are meant to clasp together. These parts are meant to like fit together, just like our Gunplas.
Yeah, and that's kind of when you try to model that too. Let's say I know with the Perfect Grade series for model kits, you can see the internal series too. But when you get to the Master Grade series, or actually some of the Master Grades actually show the internals bit. But let's say for kind of for just basics or kind of generalization too, most Master Grades don't have the internal part, those internal parts showing.
Yep.
Usually you have to model those out. There are several techniques you can use, like wires and stuff like that. But again, like the whole theory about like the angles and stuff, these things have to make sense
Mhm.
too. Like where you're putting these like open like series. I think there's two. Again, I'm going to mention M Maker again because M Maker has been doing this too. He did do a no, I wouldn't say Zosby, but he did mobile suits that show kind of the internal frames too. There was another prominent builder too in Gunpla too, who actually had a Zosby split in half and can see the internal features too.
Yeah, I do remember you showing me that a while back. Yeah. All right then. So that was Serenith, long range artillery recon unit. So if anything, I don't think this suit. I think this suit and Stellaris will be locked behind unlockables. So either you have to work towards it or buy it. So it is a free to play game. So they have to make money somehow. All right, moving on. Oh hi.
Hi, Dynamis.
A sniper striker developed by Kamiya Heavy Industries. Its charged beam cannon is capable of reaching long-range targets.
I'm laughing at it. Go back a few seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, play it. Pause. What other mobile suit does that in Double O?
I know what you're talking about.
It's the Dynamite series. I think there's a specific one that does that too with the funnel bits.
It's not chair.
It is. It's gonna be. It's Cheridum. Cheridum.
You sure it's Cheridum? Okay, I was thinking. I was trying to go. No, yeah, definitely not Zabanya. Zabanya had the long, like the huge, like massive bits. This one here, yeah, it's definitely Cheridum.
Yeah, it's the shield bits. Just like
Yeah.
literally shield bits. The one thing I'm probably gonna expect here too, those shield bits shoot lasers too.
Long range targets, advanced mass
I'm guessing that silence was yes, right? They shoot lasers.
Yeah,
Oh.
and this, you know, like if you look at the suit overall, I thought it was Junya at first, but I'm thinking this is Takayuki's work here.
You think?
Yeah, it is. I think it's Takayuki.
Oh, it has optical camouflage.
And bits that fire. Well, not bits that fire. Yeah, this is stupid. I hate fighting Narukamis. Oh, hi!
That's just camouflage. Camouflage, man.
Yeah, let's give Lock-On Stratos camouflage. He needs that in his kit. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm guessing most of his kit is just sniper, right?
Yeah, it's all sniper. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a little bit of Widowmaker in it, being able to grapple here and there, but yeah, this is definitely a sniper. Alright, I'm gonna skip this part here. We're gonna go to the decoy drones.
This is like... Oh, decoy drones. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so the decoy drones, yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of the panels here and their shaping. But yeah, this definitely I think is Takayuki's work.
Oh, that invisibility just sucks.
And gives a decoy. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Oh man, it has a stun draft.
No,
I can't remember.
If it gets stunned, it can cancel out. Basically.
Let's see. Is there anything else special with this kit? It's like it's just
attraction. It's Dynamis with the grappling hook.
location is targetable.
So it's got a
The grappler can
it's got a
instead
grappling hook.
pull
So just like
Narukami to a
Widowmaker.
location and a spot with good visibility is essential for optical
Yeah, and then there's the optical camouflage, and yeah, you can definitely see that like it's got the highlighted basic shapes and rings that a lot of 00 suits have.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We can get. Yeah, I'm ready for the next one. It's like Dynamis.
It's got a lot of Dynamis DNA in there, but definitely looking a bit more. I want to say less militaristic and more fantasy.
Yep. I just really want to draw get a Sharpie, a red Sharpie, and just cross out Narukami and just write in Dynamis. That is literally Dynamis.
Yep. All right, let's move on. So, you have not seen this one yet, but you can probably guess immediately of where this came from.
Hurricane. Okay. Holy thickness.
Hurricane, a defender striker developed by Salem Electric, equipped with decoys,
Oh,
defense
you know what?
fields,
I don't really need to
cannons,
say anything
and
at this
floating
point. It's
turrets to
Takayuki.
absorb
Yeah.
You know why? For the viewers too, let's go back a few seconds. No, not the shield part. Let's go with the gun part.
All right, we'll
Defender
move.
striker developed by Salem Electric, equipped with
Pause.
decoys, defense
Oh.
fields.
There we go. But
It's I would say the gun backpack though. That is the big indicator. If
Yeah.
you ever again, let's go back to 00, right?
yeah.
What 00 suit had a huge cannon on its backpack that has the same polygons and same design, almost I would say same design, similar design as this.
The Virtue line in
Yes,
CeraV.
yes, you can also argue Elfrith too, because
Yes,
design.
Elfrith. Yes.
not the normal Elfrith,
Yeah.
or Thorn.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do recognize that, and I do see this a lot in G-Witch designs. So, yep, yeah, definitely this is screaming Takayuki. And also, I forgot to mention, like, just like in games like Star Citizen, a lot of these suits are also tied to like an in-game lore manufacturer. So we probably had Takayuki design a lot of the Salem stuff.
Question: does Anaheim Electronics make a make a Easter? Is there Anaheim Electronics like Easter egg? That's what I'm trying to say in Mecha BREAK.
Good question. I mean, oh, you know what? Time out. Sorry. The tutorial has you getting into a suit that may or may not belong to you to escape a falling or destroyed space station.
That sounds about right for most mobile suits stolen by Xeon. We stole it from a space station or a space base. Anaheim Electronics made it. Xenon probably redesigned it with a mono eye. But some of these mono eye designs actually made the suit either better or good. But if you go with the let's say, I think the most prominent one is the Shinanju Stein or the Zazbi too. But
Mhm.
I would say mostly the Shinanju, right? So there's
Yeah.
a Stein version, which is the stolen product, and then they redesigned it into the Shinanju, which is the one that's probably by full frontal. I could be a little bit wrong with the lore wise too, because again, most of my time is on Gundam designs and also doing competitions too. Like I have to keep a balance somewhere. Like I'll watch it and see how it moves, and then try to design it. But I think lore wise, it's the Stein, and then it goes into Shinanju. I think it's if I remember correctly, it's repurposed.
I think you're
but-
correct. Yeah, the Stein itself was the prototype.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem with that is when you go to the narrative series, that Stein is there, but it's like, did they make a duplicate one, or it's the repurposed one that Full Frontal uses in Unicorn?
Good question. I'm gonna have to dig into it because I don't think they may have explained it, but it may have been like a cuts, like it may have been like a dialogue series session that I don't remember. So I will probably have to rewatch Narrative because that is actually one of my favorite low key movies. All right. So aside from the
Heavy
gun,
energy
Right here, let's go ahead and see a little bit of the function. Actually, no, let's get the head
No,
profile.
what?
real
Pause it
quick.
right there.
Yeah.
Muv Love. Hello,
I know.
Muv Love.
Yeah, now I recognize Muv-Love. Yeah, I recognize Muv-Love from here. I didn't recognize it from the other one, but this one, yes.
Well, it's just a chess piece. That's why it looks like that Muv Love series too. But also
Yeah.
you could pay attention to. It's also the Witch for Mercury series too. The Alfreds, the chess
Yep.
piece for the Alfreds.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yep, I do see that. Yeah. So,
But
yeah,
it's more prominent. The Muv Love is more prominent in this one.
yeah, that one is a little bit more overt, and Double O and G Witch are a little bit more like, I want to say constrained, just because like there's more science than fiction in those series, whereas Marvel, there's more fiction than science.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on.
Enemy fire and retaliate with formidable firepower.
Dang. And you know what? You remember, now looking at the color scheme too and what this thing does. Remember in Build Fighters?
Yeah.
I can't remember what the mobile suit is. It's the orange white one that was in the episode. Forgot.
Yeah,
what it's
Scramble
called.
Gundam. Scramble Gundam.
It's Scramble Gundam. Okay, the only thing that I'll probably be surprised if it has a transformation too into ship mode, then it is Scramble Gundam. But then again, if you look at the legs too, it's a little bit in Zeta over there. A little bit of Zeta.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
It's a mix of stuff. It's like
Yep.
if Witch for Mercury, Zeta, and also Scramble Gundam had a baby, this would probably be the baby. Oh.
Yeah, and a little bit from, I think you mentioned a little bit from GPO4 a little bit with the legs.
Yeah, but the problem is he's not part of I think he's not part of what's it called? Stardust. He's not part of Gundam Stardust
No, he's not.
team.
Yeah.
He probably talked with the designers for that, but he was not part of that design. Oh, go back to the decoy. You know the decoy drones that I just saw?
Yeah,
Let's go back to that.
Let's go back to decoy drones. Should be right. Defense field drones. Those look like Double O's shoulders.
Seven Sword. If you,
Yeah.
but the purpose is so different.
Yeah, but let me find the decoy drones. There it is.
You know what? Virtue's in there too.
Its sidearm
Yep.
is the decoy drone.
I'm just gonna be a little bit more inappropriate here. It's an orgy. It's just a literal orgy of like all mobile suits in the design.
It's like, what can I stuff in here that has glowing flying bits?
Glowing flying with bits, a shield, a cannon in the back, two laser cannons. I'm gonna guess that backpack shoots like, I think the terminology for it is cherobies.
Yeah, here we go.
Does it
Damn, that's
shoot
actually
cherobies?
that's a cool image right there. Yeah, here we go.
Ox 3, focused emitter. It fires supercharged plasma from the drones, inflicting sustained energy damage that increases.
Hello, Virtue.
It locks onto up to 4 enemy units.
Okay. So here's the thing for the people at home want to play this game and change the colors for Hurricane. You have so many options too. You can go with Hurricane. You can arguably do double Zeta with this too, which is actually funny. The double Zeta colors, which is still the standard Gundam colors, or if you want to be a little bit more hilarious, like the color I like is Alfred Thorn, with the mix of white and that teal too, which is a little bit nice too. Or you can do a Scramble Gundam with the colors wise. But this is hello Virtue. Were you in this little orgy of this Hurricane?
Yeah, actually for me, I think I actually did play around with the colors for this unit. I think I made it like just short of gunmetal gray with blue paneling and bronze highlight.
Bronze highlights.
Yeah, because blue and bronze is just like, for some odd reason, I do like that combination. And there's so many panels for this to give that like opportunity to like really make that shine.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of color theory to it too. Like some of these, like, oh, excuse me, but some of the mobile suits here have a color theory, like orange or white. It's a, it's appeasable to the eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you're not gonna see like let's say like orange and neon yellow. Now that's like a color that clashes too, unless you kind of like adjust it into a certain way where the neon yellow is more of kind of highlights and you're using the orange as more of a kind of majority color, and then you tag it on with white. But there is a color, like as people would say, color theory to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this one, it's using neon yellow. This is
Yeah.
probably the biggest example where the neon yellow is more of the highlights than anything else. The majority is the orange and white too, and it has that nice balance of little bit grays here and there.
Yeah.
And then if you go with the decals too, here it has a nice like layer of decals where it just complements the orange.
Yeah. The one thing I do not remember when I played the beta is I don't remember if I could change the LED lights. I don't think so. But that I may have missed a setting. So, but yeah. But you can get other like skins as well to change up some of the not stickers, but the decals.
I know. Honestly, wait. If you pause right there, there's one other mech suit that reminds me of them. You know that red mecha suit with the Super Robot Wars? I can't remember what its name. It's that red and white one. And it also has an alternate color of blue and white. It has the pile
You're
driver arm.
you're gonna have to. Yeah, I actually am not too familiar with a lot of this Super Robot Wars, so you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I'll probably remember it later, but
Yep.
it's one of those like kind of if you go back to the chassis part of it, it has that little bit of a design where it has I think they're called grills there too.
Yeah,
Like
the
where
grills.
just the kind of more of the air intake to make it go faster. But
Yeah.
again, this is not meant to be perfect for engineering. It's more of the sci-fi part.
Yep.
Romanticized sci-fi.
Also,
Oh,
why does it have a Wi-Fi decal in front of its intake?
that's not a Wi-Fi decal.
I know. It just reminds me. All right. We're
All
gonna
right, just keep
we're
going.
gonna look at one more. Here we go. This one. Everyone knows this one.
Falcon, a light recon
Oh man.
developed by Bifrost, capable of
Crap.
tactical
I
Falcon can switch to wing form for fast.
Oh man. There's one mobile suit that reminds me of it. It's not Gundam at all. It's that I can't remember too. It's a weird mecha series. The main character is like dating this like this organic like mecha girl or something like that too. It's like again, it's like more you're battling monsters and they're like surviving on an asteroid too. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's like it reminds me of this. But this is like I would say this is a totally original series. Like you can see a little bit of the Macross in there too, but
Yeah, this one
it's
doesn't scream as much Macross unless it transforms, but that's about it.
but it
Yeah,
does
but
have that V fin too.
yeah,
There's no like prominent. Honestly, I'll probably have to look at it a little bit more, but I don't really see any like prominent things from Gundam. Probably the shoulders a bit, but
yeah.
there's one mech series that this mech reminds me of.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, and I can't figure it out either. So anyone in the comments, feel free to let us know.
Eliminates targets from above.
So you can definitely tell
This is
from the movement.
yeah, but this is definitely Takayuki's work. It's just the chassis. If you
Yeah,
look at anything, I think this was an experiment. Because this is a little bit outside the design too, but what
yeah,
really kind of screams out Takayuki is the chess piece.
yeah. And I think this suit it specifically like may have had a lot of input from the designers themselves because they made this suit sort of they really made this suit as like a headliner for a lot of their footage and their marketing. Even the new like anime shorts, the main voice, not main voice,
Main weapon.
the main protagonist flies a custom version of the Falcon.
Mm.
Yeah.
Autocan.
But yeah, the weapons themselves definitely I don't get Gundam vibes from them at all. So
Yeah, this is like a really it's a design the outside the box in terms of like the Gundams wise too. I think there's only like one design that actually, you know what? Now I think of it too, it is Eureka 7. Takayuki did
ah,
Eureka. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Eureka 7 or Eureka 7. I don't really care.
I think
But
most people are gonna get it. Yeah.
yeah, it is Nerve Ash. That's what I was thinking. I was like remembering like, oh, he did Eureka 7. It's Nerve Ash. That's why I can't really spot it because like the thing is Eureka 7 came out like almost a decade ago and it's hasn't I would say it has gone in movies too in the last like decade or so, but it wasn't so big. That's
Yeah,
why I couldn't
and there has
remember it.
yeah, and there hasn't been a whole lot of new media for it. Yeah, so I can understand why like you would forget it because we just haven't seen much marketing or anything coming back for it.
Yeah, but look at it now, it is the Nerve Ash. It's a more skinnier version of the Nerve Ash.
It hit the gym and did a lot of cardio. We're just gonna say that.
Uh, no, it just hit the track. It's been running a lot and flying a lot.
Yeah, but but I do want to like highlight like why I love this like the game movement because it reminds me so much of just that perfect merriment of Armored Core and Gundam Extreme Versus. So
Wait, is
when
it
you
flying like? Oh, sorry to cut you off, but
yeah
the one thing that I'm looking to, kind of how it flies,
mhm.
I can't tell the legs are. So if you kind of look at the Nerve Ash itself, the Nerve Ash has its like feet
Mhm.
as like the nose. If you ever look at it. Okay, the feet is in the back too. So it's flying. Okay, it's flying like the wing Gundam.
Yeah, and if you actually look back here and you definitely know it's Takayuki, the rings within the survey joints
Yeah.
as well. That's definitely also one of his like things there. Yeah, so the feet are in his back, so he's using thrusters to help him maneuver rather than like actual like control surfaces.
Yeah. The wing form, man. Oh man.
I can already see like if anyone remembers Star Fox 64, every time you do a loop, you just hear Star Wolf going, "What the heck?" Well, with the amount of the amount of loop-de-loops, you'll be hearing that a lot more.
Well, and just
Yeah,
remembering too, the UC series had something like this too. It is called the Gundam Phoenix. They have a design like this too, but I'm not sure Takayuki had any say about that design too.
yeah,
And this is for like the viewers too, and you kind of like outside this podcast too. Like if you want to look at the Gundam Phoenix too, it does match that design a bit. But
yeah,
again, these are professionals in their own right. They do a lot of the mech series, so
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
it looks like the transformation is actually very minimal. So it's not like Macross where like the legs really fold in. So here you can actually see its transformation change a little bit. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Here- Here's my other question too.
Mhm.
Who are the Japanese voice actors? I'm guessing they have a Japanese side, right?
Yes, they have voice acting, I believe, in Chinese, Japanese, English, and I think Korean.
So why I'm asking that question is usually in the Japanese one, and this is something with there was a Switch game called Demon Hunters or Demon X.
Yeah,
They got
Demon
the
X. Yeah,
yeah, so for with that game, they got guest voice actors of Char and also Amuro. This is like the old Char voice actor before he passed away. He passed away a year ago, but they got two guest voice actors, and there was Char and Amuro's voice actor. Um,
hmm
did they actually get voice actors from Gundam to do some of the voicing for the Japanese side?
I do not know. I don't have information on that, but we can definitely visit that um, probably in a later episode of Sea to
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
yeah. And just
Um,
to answer your original question, I did look up on the Steam page here. It says it has full audio for English, Japanese, and Chinese. No Korean.
yeah, but it's just more the Japanese side. The thing is, why I asked that is like if they got like the VAs for the Japanese side too, like you can just choose the Char's VA, paint all your mobile suits red, and just pretend that it goes 3 times fast.
Hmm. Oh.
But
Yeah, I mean, the meme is like I guess I'll show you my like custom Falcon. Like I put some red in there just so I can
yeah,
make it 3 times faster. Yep. Alrighty then. Well, that's the 5 for today. Um, yeah, overall though, like what do you so far think of the mecha designs and the overall direction that the game is going in terms of like what you've seen so far?
honestly, it's pretty damn good. Like they did a lot of good work. All the designs are well balanced. Like some of the even the mech designs too. You can just like look at them like, oh, this is like some of the mechs that I had back in Gundam or other mech series too. The
Mm-hmm.
Love, Guilty Crown. Oh, not Guilty Crown, but it's the other one that's related to Guilty Crown. But Eureka 7, Double O, Wing Gundam, you can just do any colors. The beautiful part is with Mecha BREAK, you can customize your colors too, which is also nice.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and I'm glad they finally highlighted it in their latest trailer with Mecha BREAK. I believe.
yeah, you can go
Um,
back to that trailer, and I think we looked at
yeah,
this too. It's like,
yeah.
all these colors are prominent. I wouldn't say prominent, but they symbolize certain characters and certain mobile suits. Like I said before, like the Hurricane. If you know that white and orange one from Gundam, it's Scramble Gundam. Scramble does some of the similar kind of movements, designs, and then you have a little bit of cannons too, which derive from Virtue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this is Alnesis. They haven't dropped a trailer for this one yet, but we will definitely go over this next episode. But let me go ahead and highlight the customization right here. There we go.
Yeah,
So very, very Gundam Breaker-esque.
it's nope. Pause there. What color? What mobile suit is that, or what mecha is that?
Yeah, Ava.
There we go. Let's go with the next one.
Ooh.
Oh. Go back a bit.
Hold on, what was that? Oh, dang it.
If you pause right there, so there's certain mobile suits that use that color too.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the developers
Like
the
really
developers
love.
really love mecha. Yeah, there we
You got
go.
the Astray colors, so that black and orange and white one. Arguably, some of the Strike mobile suits, I believe it's the IWSP pack one, uses those same colors, and and I think the other Strike one too. I think it's Strike Noir. Strike Noir uses those same colors. You can arguably change that color, the orange, to red too, and that would be. It's also alternate one, which is I can't remember from the Gundam Seed series one too. It's the one
Yeah,
with the invisibility.
yeah.
And again, it's all about the color theory. Like there's certain combinations of color that you can use to get like
Blitz.
some of these blitz. There we go.
Yep.
But yeah, keep going with the colors too.
Yeah,
It's like a guessing
and
game.
yeah, now that you remind, oh my god, yeah, you did remind me. Yeah, this does remind me of Strike Noir. Just move the wing binders. Just don't make them wings. Just move them up a little. Actually, no, they do become like a flight unit when he's out there. So yeah, like this definitely reminds me of Strike Noir.
Oh, so if you go back a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna slow this down. Give me a second.
Yep, go ahead, slow it down. So
We're gonna go 45%.
oh, what? So if we go back to I think it's Falcon, right?
Yeah.
That red and white orange. That can be Throne 9s, or was it Astray uses that same colors, but the majority of the Astray is white and red.
Yeah.
The Throne series ones use that.
Thrones Y used this one. Ainz was was mainly black one, and then there was the Throne Dry, which also was like a darker red.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then if you kind of like change the red, the blue, you can also get Astray Frame D,
Mm-hmm.
or the blue Astray. serious ones.
Yeah.
Honestly, for this, whoever chooses the white and red for this one, man, it's bad too. It feels a little bit imbalanced for this coloring. For I believe I can't remember what.
I've seen some atrocities flying around, and I did my best to, eliminate them. Like, no. Yeah.
Okay, so we already know. Okay, with this one, what colors is this one? Which Bulbasaur uses this color?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember.
It's a goose.
No, Togis doesn't have a whole lot of blue.
Yes, Togis 3.
Oh! Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you for reminding me. I love that color.
White, orange.
Yeah. Oh, it's on
And then-
Panther, though.
Oh, that lance too. So let's go back to that lance a bit too, and people know kind of like the...
Yeah, we will be visiting Panther next episode, yeah.
Yeah, but that lance is pretty much, yeah. Again, I think we mentioned this earlier in the podcast too. Same, Takayuki does F90 a bit. Crossbones was part of F90. There we go. That's where it lands. If you want to be hilarious about it too, just change the colors to Gurren Lagann.
I don't remember seeing any Gurren Lagann references of people I've seen, and the cool part is that, I mean, they don't have the hangar, the ability to visit people's hangars, so we don't see their designs. But when we queue up for battle and we see our teammates, we do see their suit designs.
Man, here's the thing. Whoever is piloting the Panther, please do the Gurren Lagann thing and make sure you target Nyx all the time and just scream. Actually something funny, and this is why I love online games. I did see a person's username named Raul La Cruz, and this was like just very few months after the movie, and it's like I asked like, Gundam Seed reference? He's like, yeah, love the movie, hated the English, the Coos. I'm like, yeah. He also was thrown off by the pronunciation of Lacus. I was like, yeah. Yeah, with the Gundam series too. It's like, well, this is like generally anime too. You're either a sub guy or a dub guy. I'm mostly sub. There's only some instances of dub that I like. I think was it Ghost Stories for the anime wise, but in terms of like mecha, it's always gonna be Japanese sub.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Japanese, just sub, to be quite honest. I think the voice of Amuro the voice of Amuro and Char are very prominent, and they were like literally idols. I have like a signed new Gundam from the Japanese voice actor of Amuro too. I'm really sad that I wasn't able to get a signed kit of the late voice actor of Char.
Yeah, so, it was a very like sad piece of news. And I also Amuro, the voice actor Amuro, also signed my RX-78 kit as well. He had to sign it twice because the paint marker he used actually immediately rubbed off because of the material of the box. So we had to go back and sort of like redo it. So technically it's signed twice. Yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
who is that? Go back a bit.
Yeah.
It's who is that? It's very
totally not an Asuka Langley reference, right? Yeah, and the character creator is spot on. It is using, I believe, Unity engine, so not gonna mention a specific game here.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the audience a kind of okay. Pause right there because there's a lot more.
It's like is this a Rei Ayanami?
yeah. There's a lot more references and like Easter eggs here. If we go back a few seconds. So this character. If you go back to that character with the blonde hair, I can't, for the love of like mecha and everything, I cannot remember who this character's from. She's also very prominent and had the same coloring hair. I can't remember where it is. This is probably the one in the older mecha series too. A lot, because if you ever, well, if you have the time too, we'll look at kind of the interview too. But yeah, this hairstyle is very prominent. I can't remember which character it is. We can go to the next one too.
Yep.
So this is also, I think it's this is Double O. It might be either Double O they're referring to or Seed.
Well, the uniform colorization reminds me of.
Unless we want to call it Tira Arde.
No. No.
But yeah, I feel like this is also another character. I'm probably losing it too.
Yeah.
Oh no! I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's Falcon Stratus' dead girlfriend.
No, Anu did not have the braid. Anu had like a medium hair length down.
Yeah, but didn't Anu have like the same coloring and the same uniform color too?
No, Anu's is it was white and it may have been, yeah, it was the same one as Sumeragi, I believe. So it was either like with this weird like violet blue, I believe. No, I could be misremembering. Again, gotta rewatch it again. Great series.
Yeah, it is a great series, but it's like it references double. Oh, okay, we know who that ass is.
Yeah.
It's one of the girls from Eva. Oh, there she is again.
Langley again. Yeah. Oh, and just a fun fact, they actually just introduced this. Ugh, I hate this. That when you're in your hangar, you can actually move that platform around and take pictures with your mech.
Just like how it's red. It's just everything. Hey!
Hey!
Okay, I'm gonna go back to this.
I don't think that's Char. Maybe.
No, it's I'm gonna be a little bit more inappropriate here. It's 4 vaginas, or you want to know, quattro vagina.
I hate that. I hate when you do that to me.
Dude, outside of like a little bit competitive, I am a shitter. Love those memes, man.
And thank God the cursing happened well after 10 minutes. Yeah, but
about that hospital bed.
Yeah, I do also like the UI animations as well. It reminds me of like a combination of Unicorn and a couple other things. All right, well that's it. Global launch is just a few days away. I'm hyper excited, and we are going to be going over some of the boss units at a later date, probably in episode 3. I'm going to be trying to collect a lot of footage during my gameplay, and then we'll have Kal here to take a look at them. All right then. Well, I think that is it for today. We will go over, we're going to have to move Lumina to the second episode as well. All right, Kal, before we head out, just a reminder, where can they find you on the internet and any future projects?
Yep, so again, I have a future project right now. Again, I'm on Instagram. I'm Kal the Otaku right now. I do post every now and then too. There will be points in my kind of like posting that there is a long period of time that I don't post enough. That's just because I have other things outside of like doing competitive, like all these personal things too. But yeah, again, Kal the Otaku on Instagram, and then on X, I'm Kal the Rebel Otaku. And that's pretty much it. Or just if you have any questions too about like doing the mech designs or whatever like that, or kind of getting competitive too a bit. If you're on the East Coast, just kind of slide a DM to me either on Instagram or on X.
Yep, and all those links will be down below, as mentioned earlier. And of course, if you found my channel, I am more Botniks. Be sure to like and subscribe one more time. And also, as well, I will be streaming this live on July 1st, and it may actually go live a little earlier. We'll see, but it does say July 1st Pacific Standard Time, so probably later in the day for me, as I am East Coast. So, alrighty then.
Make sure you play Panther against him, and with the Gurren Lagann colors, he really hates it.
You really like to drill it in, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Internet. Goodbye, users. See ya.
Have a good one.